All right, guys. Let's just go 528 hertz. I was trying to find some copyright-free music, but just something to, kind of, I don't know. Oh, that's only 13 minutes. That's the same one. And now, I guess let's just do this one. What is the main one anyway? So yeah, ETH is going nuts. What's up, guys? Always appreciate you guys. What's up, Crypto Steph? Yeah, we'll look at ETH and we'll look at PayPay to start off the stream here. The trades, if you want to trade, check it out over on BYDFI, link down below. Also, BloFin, pin chat, 20% of your fees for life. Both of those, a lot of good opportunities in the market. We post them all in the Discord for you guys to see. Got a great community there. I may or may not, maybe a little bit too tired today. Didn't get the best sleep last night, but it's a little warm where I am right now. They don't have no AC, so it is what it is. But so what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, maybe if I got some energy, we'll do a little chat in the Discord after this. But if not, probably tomorrow. So let's take a look-see there. And yeah, so. And that's the Bitcoin trade that we're trying to get an outcome on relatively soon. I think it should do pretty well. It wasn't like an official trade that I entered in the Discord, but it was like yesterday we did it on the stream. So pretty good, pretty good trade for that. Just trying to get up a little bit more here. And yeah. And so ETH is going nuts. That is true. I mean, you're kind of at this like really big point here and you're hitting the linear spiral line. So I would expect at least a little bit of a consolidation or something. Like, I don't think you're just going to bump up to 3,500 immediately, but you can. We are in some crazy times. I mean, if you just look at like the last, run up from kind of this low, you got 13%. So I mean, you've really erased a ton of pain. You've erased a ton of pain now. You're at July of 24 levels. You're at these kind of levels. You're at like kind of like decent levels here. You're not like nearing all-time highs, not yet, but you're going there. So shout out to Eric, shout out to Thano, and you're getting there. Let's see how AD sub 100k pullback. I mean, I do think if you do see a bearish August, it is pretty likely that, I don't know if you lose 100k, but yeah, 20% could be. I could see 20 to 25%, and then you recover from there. So odds of it, I'd give it 50-50, maybe even 60-40. I mean, you normally do get those summer pullbacks. If you do see it, you'll probably see it next month. So, yeah, no, I would think for ETH, maybe if you can get up to 3,900, 4,000, by that kind of thing too. Right there, yeah, I mean, you can even. I would think that 3,200 area where we are right now is going to be pretty strong. Like, I don't think you're going to lose this too objectively in the near future. I mean, what would ETH do? And the big thing for ETH, let's say you get up to, I don't know, let's say you get up to that 7. Oh wow, and on linear it just looks wild here. But if you can get up to that, 7, no, it's 11. Oops, what am I doing? If you can get up to that 7,000 mark, where would your bear market bottom be? Oof, maybe down 75-80%. I'm just telling you what normally happens. I mean, what was this? It was 80 here. What was this? What was this pullback? This was 82. I mean, it could be better. Maybe it's 75 like Bitcoin, or 77 like Bitcoin last time. I would think it's really important for us to make a new all-time high this cycle for ETH to really stand strong. So, I mean, maybe down to 1,600 or something. So yeah, ETH to like 5,300. Yeah, I think that's pretty likely. And I think the big place to DCA out would be from October to December. Like every post-halving year. So yeah, I mean, we can't get to 4,000 quick enough here. We can't get to 4,000 quick enough. Just an exciting time. So yeah. If Bitcoin hits 200k, I think ETH would probably hit 11k, at least the 7,400 area. I don't think you're going to see that this year though, but hopefully I will be wrong and we'll come up to 200K. So yeah, I think it's more of 150K for Bitcoin, and 130 to 150K for Bitcoin, and then like hopefully 7,400 for ETH. But I guess probably at this point your worst case scenario would be like a rejection from the old all-time high. Like I think you're going to keep doing well. Pay, let's take a look. I mean, so I think you could do something like this, at 200% or something. I'm just curious on, I mean, assuming it would outperform. Yeah, I mean, assuming it would outperform ETH, yeah. You could probably get up to these levels. I don't think you would get much higher than, any of these levels I drew out here. I mean, you may not even get there, You may not even, you may only get up to these levels, so just keep that in mind. But, yeah. Little pullback percentage. I could see all the above there, either or. It's obviously a little tough to say, but I wouldn't short, not yet. I mean, the first place I would kind of look where it gets a bit more bearish would be, if you can get a bear div there, after that point. But we'll see if that even forms, or probably the same with the daily may give you a green dot, and that may make way up to 3,500, maybe even higher. So, yeah, I wouldn't, I mean, let's look at some crypto funding rates right now. I mean, it's not bad. Here's where once you start to get like 0.02, 0.03, especially for ETH, that's where you would be in a higher likelihood of a pullback, but you're not there yet. You know what I mean? You're not there yet. So yeah. Just wanted to do that, and then it's the Bitcoin trade, so I'll just show that one. But anyway, guys, like I mentioned, BYDFI, BloFin, pin chat for BloFin, 20% of your fees for life. I don't think you're finding that anywhere else. In the same thing for BYDFI, 20% of the fees for life. Really good deposit bonuses. I think they're doing a trading competition on BYDFI, so check out the description below if you're interested. No KYC, no VPN for either of those. So let's see, Cardano. Yeah, we could absolutely look at Cardano. ETH dominance is interesting too. Didn't quite make it back to the January 18 high in that market. So, but I would think at least ETH dominance coming back up to like 13%, maybe higher. So we'll see what happens here. And let's look at Cardano. I'm sure that's kind of good. I think you'll make your way up to $1.18 eventually here. Maybe end of month, hopefully, and then from there into October to end of year, jumping back up towards those old all-time highs. $2 to $3. I mean, you got the clock ticking, but it's not impossible to go up to $5. Let's say it's not impossible. I kind of don't think you're going up all the way to 8, but maybe $5 if you do make a new all-time high. What's up, Jay Sherlock? Appreciate you. You've been a long-time follower. Really appreciate you, Jay. So yeah, and let's see here. This Cardano got the trades in. I mean, exciting time. Funding fees still healthy. If we look at fear and greed, well, let's talk about quickly the Powell thing. I would be more on the side that Trump can't really fire Powell, or even if he can, it's probably going to take a while, and Powell's term will be freaking almost over by the time he's able to fire him, you know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll definitely have to see here. So, yeah. And it is what it is. I think the view is they did that kind of, Trump did it to test, see how the market would react to that, which, I mean, it's a way to gauge the market, I guess, there. And then, so I don't think, I mean, if you look at polymarket betting odds too, it's not, here we go. It was moving around a little bit, but 20%. He jumped up, and then when Trump says he's not going to, moves around. So as of right now, I don't think that's going to be the case. And if we look at Fed decision, 96% no change, and then how many rate cuts in. This one's up in the air, but 1 to 2, 50%, about a 50% chance, a little over 50% of 1 to 2 rate cuts. So I wouldn't, I would go with the betting odds right now. Let's see something here. I can't even tell which one's which, but yeah, that's the highest one, right? So anyway, I mean, it doesn't look too likely that we're going to get 4 or 3. So yeah, 1 to 2. And that's the thing with interest rates. I mean, they came down a little bit. That's the thing with Trump. Yeah, with the rumor that he was going to fire Powell, it came down a little bit, and now they're probably have jumped back up or still down just slightly. But it's not. You're still going to be like in the generally higher ranges for this for a couple years, I would guess. Like into the end of the decade, I would kind of guess. Maybe, I mean, it's just kind of what history would tell us, something like that, just gradually slow bleed, that's what I would kind of guess. So, yeah. Chainlink high, good question. Let's take a look. So, if you can get up to these points by the end of this month, early next month, and then you break above it, your next big place would be the old all-time high. That's going to be a big psychological area, obviously. Just mark that out. I would say a good goal would be 50 at least. Not to say that you can't hit 80, but let's see, something like this into... I mean, I think we're going to kind of shoot up pretty quickly and then get a little pullback or something. And then into end of year or whatnot. Something like that. Maybe even more if you look at kind of what history has given us in the past, but I don't know if that's necessarily gonna play like that. ETH Bitcoin, let's take a look. Good, very good right now. I think this will continue forward, maybe a little bit at 0.029. But ETH should generally continue forward to 0.035, and that would erase a ton of pain if you converted your Bitcoin into ETH back here. So then you'd theoretically be ahead if you were kind of earning interest on the ETH through that, 6 months or whatever. You'd probably get 2% more or whatever. And then obviously appreciation too. So, I mean, I think you're going to jump up. I don't know, it's hard to say exactly what this will follow. I mean, if you follow this into end of year, you should at least get back to 0.04, which is not the best, but definitely not the worst, you know what I mean? Kind of right there, so, yeah. I mean, it really fell off against Bitcoin, but I think it's going to fight back here a bit. So, yeah. And then the cycle repeats. After that, then you come into 2026, your most likely bear market year. S&P 500... went down slightly, yeah, with the Powell thing. Now it's up. I mean, I think these will generally be pretty green into the end of the year. This and the triple Q, up to these points there. Probably a peak, 6 to 630, I would guess, into end of year, maybe even higher for the Nasdaq. I mean, we're just in that crazy kind of decade, which kind of similar to the 80s and 90s in terms of performance, the 2010s and 2020s, I guess. So, yeah. And then I would think the 2030s wouldn't be as good. I mean, I guess if you consider, the Great Recession to be something so bad comparative, to the Great Depression, then you could have 3 good decades, I guess, because you had if you consider the 40s to be a good decade, I mean, that wasn't the best decade, the 40s for the S&P 500. It was 2 bad decades in a row, but then you had 50s and 60s, and 70s was bad. But, yeah, I would guess the 30s will be where you'll see more, not the greatest decade for the S&P 500. Let's see here. So it's kind of jumping up there, and then trying to get up to that point. What's up, Drew? So is that right there? I just want to look at this. It's still pumping. A little bit of consolidation, 3,300. I mean, it feels high, but at the same time, it feels low compared to, obviously compared to Bitcoin and compared to, previous highs for this. Like, I mean, really the big momentum would be at like 4K. But then again, I'm like starting to get greedy, you know what I mean? We're up, 130% now from that low. I mean, that low was nuts, 140%. I remember that. I was in Argentina during that. That was a damn low. That was a. Do I use prop firms? I use Breakout. There's a link down below if you're interested in using it. The only thing I don't like about Breakout, I think it's great, but the only thing I kind of don't like is that the fees are kind of high if you're doing swing trading. If you're waiting for a while for the outcome on your trade, but you can still make it work. You know what I mean? Sort of funding fees are kind of high in that aspect. Do I think ETH will ever sold going forward? Probably. Let me look at that. That's a question a lot of people have been asking. Yeah, I think it probably will outperform Sol and most other altcoins until you see an actual end of QT and next rate cut, which probably would be in September. So to answer your question, yes, in all likelihood, but anything can happen. I'm just curious about, most alts are bleeding against ETH right now. Like most, except Aave. Except like some of the, I'm just curious about, like the Crow ETH one was always a little, that's not on BitTrex, BitTrex anymore. But let's just look at, so like most of them have kind of been bleeding against ETH, and I don't know about this one, if this will just bleed through, but yeah. What do I think about Bonk's chart? That's been like a high volume traded one. I haven't really looked at it, but let's take a look. That's the thing too. You had that first peak, I remember, in December 23, and you came down, and you made, I mean, most of your, that's the thing too, like most of the people who were telling you it was all over at this peak, you know what I mean, they're kind of right. I mean, it came up higher, but they were kind of right. You're still at that level. I mean, where can this realistically go? Man, it's tough to say. I mean, if people stay in the seat and like keep paying attention, I mean, if you're looking at new all-time high, I mean, maybe this area, maybe, up another 100%. If your average alt does, like a 2 or 3x, this probably would do something equivalent to that. So maybe a 2 to 3x. Yeah. Let's come up. The other one too that I don't know what you guys think of. This is like probably the newest meme coin. It was just listed on Coinbase, the Pump.fun. Although, didn't the website shut down? I don't know the story about that. Didn't like the website shut down or whatnot? And the website shut down, and then now they raised the meme coin. So it kind of seems like a scam, but what isn't? I don't know. Maybe this is the next one. I mean, it's so hard to say, but a lot of volume with Pump. A lot of like eyes are on it. So we'll see what the hell happens. Trying to think here. So that was That was Pump. Always got to look at Polygon. That's doing something. Which I think that, given the circumstances, you're hitting this kind of big area. Let's do like a conservative, taking on target, 36 cents, which is still freaking low, but, I mean, you take what you can get here at this point. I mean, I was looking at some of my altcoins. This is like one of the worst performers. This is like one of the most depressing ones ever. From that, there was a January 22 high. $3 down, currently 90%, it was down 94. I mean, it's still not, that's the thing, if you can just hold, like, you want to hold freaking, we're only at 20, wait a second here. Oh, that's a glitch in the matrix. So it's a glitch right there, but you want to hold, 29 cents. Then you got something going, hopefully up to 50 after that, and then 57 and so forth. I'm just curious if you look at like Matic, that's good. So you're finally starting to see that turn around against Bitcoin. I think a lot of these will do so for the coming months. So yeah. But yeah. Jasmine, I've never like did enough research into what the hell it is, or does. I think it can get back to these highs or something. There's potential here, but I'm not too familiar with the coin too much. It looks decent though. It looks pretty good. Let's go on the Twitters. And there's crypto legislation. I think that would probably be more bullish. What's that about? Ooh. Ooh. What posts are those? Yeah, no one posted either. Late to get into Bitcoin longs. I mean, it depends where you're. It depends on a lot of stuff, man. I don't know if I trust Polymarket right there, but yeah. Libertarian Genus Clarity Act. Yeah, I think these things are. I don't know anything that's in these bills or whatever the hell, but I think they generally would be pretty good. Getting regulation, I think that would be pretty good. I don't know if that's gonna. It ain't gonna. Obviously, it'd be funny if the regulation Trump signs it as a law and it like just goes after him for his meme coins, but you know. So let's see. We'll do Caspa, then we'll look at Caspa. I probably don't have too much to say on. I mean, it's. I think you got a good shot of breaking back up to these highs, 18 or something, a double to that 30-cent mark if everything goes perfectly, maybe 37 cents. So I think Caspa generally is in a pretty good position. I think really the support area that I'd want to draw would be right around there, probably. It's weird how this one bottomed out, or maybe really there. I don't know. So yeah. Yeah, the hype one. Just wanted to maybe on. That's a newer one, obviously. Okay, yeah, that could do some damage. Yeah, I mean, 100 to 150, I could see 2 to 3x, maybe even more. I think there's potential. Yeah. Somebody asked about SWE. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean SWE as well. 2 to 3x, 2 to 2.5x, probably some of these areas. I think SWE will break upward, and then you got your target at. Where's your target? It's right around $7.676, $7.60. Down in Medic, yeah, I think it's double down. I mean, I don't know if I would really like the thing, man. Like with alts is like the reason I'm like down on it, but like it's not the end of the world is because I own like a ton of alts, so it's more about diversification. I don't know if I would double down. Like if I were to put more money in alts, maybe I'd put a little bit more in that, but I'd also put money in other alts too that can potentially do better because I don't know. I really did the likelihood of Matic making a new all-time high this cycle is probably less than 10%. It's not very likely, unfortunately. 10x from here, I mean, it's possible, but probably not. I mean, the thing about selling it is you'd probably want to sell it, the same technique of selling anything else between October and December. Well, let's see, 12-hour. That looks okay. Not great, but okay. 6 and 8 look neutral to more bullish continuation. I think my guess for Bitcoin is it's going to be kind of boring sideways for a lot of this month while ETH can really continue to do damage because the more Bitcoin goes sideways, the more bored people get and they start to put money into ETH and that brings this up. So that's what I would kind of guess here. So yeah, and if you want the info on the trades, as always, check out the Discord. Remember, if you sign up to any of the links down below for the exchanges, deposit at least $100, give you 1 free month in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. Just open a support ticket with your UID or your email, and we'll get you sorted. 20% off your fees for life on both the exchanges down below. Check out the links. BloFin, BYDFI, both are great. What's your guys' experience been with BitUnix? Has anyone used BitUnix? I'm curious if you guys have had any luck with them, like them. That may be the next one I'll try to mess with, but we'll see. You know. I think Bitcoin dominance probably has topped, but we'll see what happens. I think that there's enough bearish signs that would indicate this topping for a while. And it kind of is good for alts, the fact that it's like a lower high, you know what I mean? Where could this go into the end of the year? Probably down 27% down to that level, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, or something. So it's the same thing with ETH. Like, it's kind of like ETH's probably not going to make a new high against Bitcoin this year, very unlikely. But it didn't make a new low against Bitcoin either. So it's just like, how do you like how do you even make an opinion on that? That's still just so very up in the air. And I think that the market just doesn't know yet. I think that's part of it. You know what I mean? Let's try to come up. So I think Tesla will do well. Curious about like Tesla ETH right now, because it's obviously they got to jump against ETH and now it's blue. So the thing with that is like you probably get back to this level, and then this would be your like end of year situation, and just convert back to Tesla because it'll probably will outperform ETH or whatever. Let's look at Tesla. That's actually good. So Tesla SPY, let's see. Like, I just want to look at Tesla SPY and like, so it generally outperforms. Underperformed in 22, bear market year. 18 it wasn't as relevant, but did underperform S&P 500. So it would tell you that S&P 500 will probably outperform Tesla and outperform ETH in outperform Tesla and outperform ETH in 2026. But obviously it could be different this time around, as always. On the Move Entertainment, shout out to you, man. On the Move Entertainment, appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Try to be as honest as I possibly can. And when you're more chill about it and you don't care that much, it's kind of what happens. When I care, obviously, but kind of just chill. But anyway, that's coming up there. Bitcoin. ETH is kind of sideways, consolidating a little bit. Actually, so 3,300. I mean, it's good. It's good. I mean, I just want to look at too. Like I always like to look at the ETF because it's like depending on what price people bought it at. I mean, a lot of people that bought this probably would be in the green unless you bought it at the top, like there. Like a lot of people would probably be in the green right now, or at least not down that bad. So I mean, I could see us, fronting these highs, I don't know what the, maybe into end of month or something, early August, fronting these highs, and then something like this, maybe back down to that area, and then end of year or October, that's like 6,000. It's up. It's about it's like 5,600. I would think you could at least make it there, but we'll see. Alt season. I think it's mainly ETH season. Not necessarily alt season yet. But I think as we get to September, and if others versus Bitcoin holds this area, which is huge, then you could kind of see somewhat of an alt season. I think these were I mean, we're way behind schedule here in terms of where it normally bottoms out against Bitcoin. But, you know, if you look at kind of, I mean, July, like somewhere there, 20, I mean, can it do this? That's our kind of question. Can it, like, do something like that into the end of the year? I mean, maybe. Then you're all the way back up. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. The other thing is that it could do is, like, this. I mean, that would be into 26. I don't know if you'd be like that. I think you would get, in all likelihood, more of a big jump, but, you know, yeah, it's November. Yeah, I mean, that would be nuts. Like, everybody would be in the seat if you were to jump up that much, you know. E season is the previous, yeah. E season. Yeah, so, you know, I think that you kind of have to wait until, for like a pure, legitimate altcoin season where the majority of alts outperform ETH, you want to wait until, you know, when does ETH make a new all-time high? You know, that's kind of our question here. You know, when does ETH make a new all-time high? September, I would guess. If I had to guess, I mean, who knows? But probably September. Probably around that FOMC meeting or something where they cut rates. And then what happens? You get your altcoin season for, I don't know, 1 to 3 months. And then cycle repeats. Basically over. Bear market. 2026. Yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like. You know, from there, I mean, things will probably, you know, from there you could get up to maybe in October, you know, you could get up to that area. You know, you get a little hyperbolic at the end. You know, that would be very similar to, you know, some of these previous run-ups. If let's actually zoom out a little bit. You know, I mean, you had that run-up there, or you had that run-up there. So it would just be a very diminished version of these two run-ups, where it just generally went upward. So if we look at this one, 5,000%. We look at this one, 20,000%. So it was a 1/4, I guess. You know, let's say 1/4 of what it was there. So if it's 1/4, then that would still be very high. If it was, that would still be very. Hold on a second here. Am I doing this right? So let's say 20,000, and this one was 5,000. So 20 divided by 5 would be 4. So 1/4 of 5,000 would be like 1.25. That's a 12x. I mean, I don't think it's going that. That would be insane. It's probably not going up to 20K or whatever the hell. But, you know, there's potential. Yeah. Alts are a good bargain. Yeah. Diversified alts right now I think are really good. A lot of them haven't done too much. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them haven't done that much. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are still low. Crypto.com still pretty low. Trying to jump upward. And I think you can, you know, 10 cents, get up to 20, 16 to 20. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Then you're sitting on some dough, you know. Sitting on some dough. 15K. I think that's a little bit too optimistic. That would be crazy. Yeah, at this point, that's not. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. It'll probably be 7,000, I would guess, but yeah. If Bitcoin, I mean, it's not going to hit 300K this year. Man. That's probably next cycle where you'll peak out would be 2 to 300K, 2 to 400K or something. And by end of decade, I don't think you're going to hit that this year, but maybe I'll be wrong. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, at this point, like, you're in the later stages of this cycle. Like, I don't think you're gonna get up to 200, man. Like, I mean, it would have to be like you'd need to see something like this, right? Like, you need to see this shit again, which is not. Hold on, why isn't that? It's come on, like that's to okay. November. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I mean, it's all less. You know, I mean, it seems like every jump is a little bit less powerful here. It's possible, but will it happen? I don't know. Well, it's definitely not going up to 300K this year. 200K, I guess, is possible, but unlikely. If it were to go up to 200K, ETH would probably. I mean, well, let's see here. I mean, let's see. If it were to go up to 200K, It's 73% upward. And again, I mean, it's a lot to ask. 73% upward. Where could ETH go? I mean, if it outperforms Bitcoin by like, it still may only go to 7,000. It could go to 11,000 though. That's kind of the highest I would see it going. So it outperforming by like 3 to 4x. But it's like, that's the thing too. Like if it outperformed, well, let's see. Well, let's actually do the math on that. Where would that be? Let me get my calculator. It's a little bit easier just to do it on the... So let's say ETH went up to 11K and Bitcoin went up to 200K. Let's make it even. Oops. Oh, that would... I think it would be 0.55. Hold on. I screwed it up. Come on. 0.055, yeah. So, I mean, that ain't even... I mean, yeah, you're only getting up to... That's that's a problem with ETH here. Like, higher low, but also lower high. You know, I don't even know if we don't even know if it's going to make it that high. I mean, I'll probably at least make it to 0.03, 0.04, you know. 0.035, 0.04. So, yeah. Every bull cycle, longer total days for about... I don't know if that's exactly the case to be made. I forget the exact thing here. The biggest thing I could show you for that is from the lows here, like that low. So 154 bars on the weekly, 152 bars. So actually they're less according to this, 151. So they're slightly less according to this. Well, no, that's just speculative. But if it's slightly less, that would be October. It could be longer though. We don't know. It's still pumping. Yeah, you're right. It's the first time somebody's ever said something was pumping and it was actually pumping. Well, that is, yeah, it's good. That is good. And I would think that too, for all I give to the Discord kind of on the, because I added to my trade, the next place I would take profits would be 34.78. 34.75, yeah. What's up, Giuseppe? But yeah. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in trading, check out the link down below for BYDFI. 20% off your fees for life. Check out the pinned comment, link down below as well for BloFin, 20% off your life. 20% off your fees for life as well. Yeah, I do sound a little bit tired. You know, maybe I'll take your advice, Giuseppe. Maybe I'll take your advice. It's almost 9 p.m. where I am. The sun is still out bright. You would think it's like 6 p.m. in any other place, but yeah. Maybe I'll take your advice. Yeah, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee. I'll make a cup. It's hot where I am. That's another thing that's kind of keeping it, you know. But we'll make a cup of coffee. I like this guy. Giuseppe. Italian, right? Italian? Well. Their espresso machine going, because you know, important stream. It is nice, you know, those long days, you know, in Northern Europe, those long days. Really blessed to be able to, you know, live here right now. So, yeah, you hear the espresso machine going, and yeah. 2 a.m. in Bali. Oh, it's got some. There are a lot of Italians in Bali. They thought I was Italian. I am Italian, so they were right. I'm American though, yeah. There are quite a few Italians in Bali. No, I'm in Northern Europe now, man. I'm in Northern Europe. I'm in a place where it's 9 p.m. and it's still bright outside, like still completely light outside. It barely gets dark here, man. Like, it's always a little bit of light in the sky, pretty much. I think you get, like, 2 hours of total darkness or 3 hours of total darkness. It's cool where I am. It's definitely cool where I am. I mean, pros and cons to it, obviously. Pros and cons to it, but mm, pros and cons to it. Mm, mm. Coffee's ready. So yeah. Northern Europe, yep. So yeah. They hit Estonia. I'm in the same country that I Show Speed was in the other the other day. If you guys are familiar with him, I'm not. I haven't really watched his stuff too much, but it's just funny like how overly dramatic he is. I think that's what makes him really popular, just being so overly dramatic. The IRL streaming is like the new, because the technology exists for it, you know, or has existed for it in only the last few years. Because you need like good 5G. Um, wow, he had 150K portfolio and lost it all. Was it all altcoins? Was that what it was? I mean, let's just see what you would be down. Like, just say it was all. It probably had to be all. I mean, if it was Bitcoin, you'd be ahead, obviously. So it had to be all coins, right? Let's see what you'd be down if you were, you know, just see that how bad you would still be down. So December of, you'd only be down 30%, bro. You'd probably still have 100K there. You should. I mean, you probably had some shit. You had some garbage if it's if it's that. Like, what is it at? Like, you lost it all. Like, if you lost that all, you had some trash, bro. What were you holding? Like freaking. What was that one that went to zero? Did you have it all in Matic? I mean, even if you had it in Matic, it still would be worth like what, 30 grand or something. Oh well, you were trading. Okay. Well, you were. That's not. You got liquidated a lot. Okay. Well, I mean, you were in leverage though. That was in a leverage account then or something. It wasn't in a long term account. There's differences there, but yeah. Yeah. Mm. But nah, this looks really. I mean, the thing too is that what we want to. Yeah, this is kind of just simple. Um, this almost looks like it's gonna freaking go nuts, man. It might actually. Like, I still think most of this will be over by the end of the year, but let's just see the 38 7,000. So is like 38 divided by 7,000. That's 3, 4, 5. Let's say 1/5. 1/5 of 7,000 would be again that one to. Yeah, I mean it's not gonna go probably won't go 3 trillion here. It's not gonna go no 10x for alts, but can you get it to like 700 billion? I think that's doable. Can you make an all-time high? I think that's doable. I mean, I think your average alt is probably going to give you, yeah, I could see 150%, you know. Well, I'm sorry you lost all that money, man. I mean, it's more about using stop losses. I mean, usually, like I'd say 99% of the time, the people that are just, trading with no stop loss and just liquidation point, I mean, that's, if they don't know what the hell they're doing, that's just gambling at that point, man. And usually, the house got an advantage there. We got lucky here. Great Scott the Gamer. You're a streamer? How many followers do you have? Yeah, now you could talk more about stuff, but it's still, yeah. You got the 3 strikes, bro? You were all done? You got the 3 strikes and you're out on YouTube? Sorry to hear that. Anyway, if you guys are interested, like I mentioned, check out what the hell was it? Yeah, check out BYDFI, BloFin down below. May get you something soon for BitUnix. CryptoFace has been using it, so I'm looking into it. I'm looking into that a little bit, but yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah, 20% off your fees for life. Only at my links down below. There's deposit bonuses, trading, yeah, all that shit, whatever. But check it out if you're interested, and make sure you open a support ticket with your UID or your email if you sign up and deposit at least $100 to either of those down below. So yeah. My money was invested in 50K. The rest was unrealized profit. Nice, you were up 100 grand. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Great Scott. I never heard. What was the channel name? Are you somebody that I would know? I mean, how many subscribers did you have? If you had 200 live, you probably had at least like 10 to 20,000, I would think, right? But yeah. Yeah, who knows if anybody's telling the truth. But yeah, I mean, the other thing too that people have talked about, on the bearish side for alts would be, or at least alts bleeding against Bitcoin would be this. But I think you could make a higher low here. I know that certain people who have gotten it right pretty well, like Ben Cowan, have talked about these lows, but I don't know. I think you may be done. But for all I know, I could be completely wrong here. It's kind of in between in some of these higher time frames, but I like the 3 week. So yeah. What do how long do I have trades open on average? Usually at least a few days, man. I'm more of a swing trader, but I can do any type of trading because I'm cooler than you. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. What do I think of cat? Are we dumping right now? No, we're going up in ETH. Bitcoin's coming down. Yeah. Oh my golly. What do I think of Caspa? I think it'll do a 2x probably at least. It's hard to say, man. I mean, it's it looks decent in the charts. We looked at it earlier. I think it looks okay. I think it could do something, a little something. So yeah. But what I mentioned before, guys, what Gen Z is doing, like the iShowSpeed, the Jack Doherty. I don't really think Jack Doherty's that great of a person, but I like iShowSpeed a little bit better. But both of them are, it's kind of like the Kardashians to a certain extent. But iShowSpeed is the better of the two, I would say, at least in ethics. But iShowSpeed's smart enough to not be wasting his time with the chicas. iShowSpeed is just way so above that. But yeah, the IRL streaming is cool. Like the IRL, I think that can, especially somebody doing it in a way where, you're kind of showcasing a cool life and it's not just nonsense. Like, I mean, everybody's done this, but like, having a good freaking life too. But their content is more volatile markets. You're talking about yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it too much. IRL streaming is very new to me. I didn't even know it really existed. Like, the only ones I've seen, and I've only seen clips, are mainly the iShowSpeed, who does it on YouTube. They're more so Twitch, the ones they do it. There's that big rapper that does it too on Twitch, right? There's a few. I was doing it. Twitch paid me, like, I could say it now. It's been a year or two. They were paying me 5 G's a month for at a time to stream on Twitch, and I was getting like 10 to 20 viewers. So, I mean, I don't know if they wanted Evan Aldo. I don't know if that was, I was very flattered by that. I did what I could, but we just couldn't get many people to watch me on Twitch, unfortunately. But yeah. Let's see, what was the question here? I think I missed the question. ETH up to 3.3, yeah. Is it better to close the ETH long at 3,400? Just keep it. Oh man. So the way I trade, if you're in a long, I'm already taking profits because it's like a different type of like for your spot bags, I think it's probably better to hold it longer. But the next big place to be taking profits would be like 35, right here. And then you could kind of add to it as you go up, risk free, scot free. So yeah. D is a doji, man. Wait, how many ETH do I have long? I got 3 ETH long. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna get up to 8K, bro. I mean, and you're gonna get some fun. Why don't you just buy the 10 ETH on spot? Oh, you're too broke. No, I'm sorry. I should have said. I'm kidding. I don't know, man. It's not the way I trade. People have mixed results from that. I mean, it's kind of the crypto strategy. I feel like most people who trade like that don't do too well. For stuff that you want to hold for a hell of a long time, like the other way too is you might want to just buy like some leveraged ETH or something. Like if you want to be that ballsy or like borrow against, something like this, I get, oh my golly. I did not think that would recover so quickly. Up 300%, insane, yeah. But yeah, we'll see if that could keep going here. The SBET that can get up to 200. Well, yeah, no, if it recovered this much, but yeah, maybe $200. I could see potentially. They're trying to do a micro strategy did with Bitcoin, SBET, the Sharplit Gaming. The problem is the sequel is always worse, so take that as you will. So I don't know if you're like playing hold. The thing is, there's like DK, there's fees and stuff like, so you got to be careful. And usually, when a lot of people start asking about these leverage things and all this, it kind of signifies greed, and what happens, the market kind of craps itself. So be careful because I mean, you may get like the thing too is like what happens a lot is. We don't even know if we're going to hit 4,000 in the next month. I think we can, but we don't know that, obviously. If we do this and then I'm just like, what if you get a drop back to like 3,000 here and then you continue for years, I mean, it's then that liquidates you. So you got to be careful. And there's wicks down like here, Let's see. I did a Bitcoin ETH trade early December 2024. Bitcoin ETH trade. Yeah. That's you were thinking what I did. You trading Bitcoin to ETH. That's what I did back then too. And obviously it worked out terribly so far. It worked out terribly so far. And I'm in degenerate jail right now, but I mean, it's still, you're not like I'd give the odds of getting back to that level by end of year like probably 70 to 80% at least, maybe higher, maybe even 90. I mean, you could get up to like 0.039, so you'll still be ahead in that, and you got compound interest on the ETH, so yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like. Well, here you're already, so if you converted there, if you're 50, yeah, so you like double your Bitcoin if you did that, yeah. Bit mining with Solana, I'm not familiar with the strategy, but I'd be open to hearing about it, I guess. If you take profits on what price do you enter? What do you mean? I mean, I don't know. It's hard to, it depends on how the charts look. I mean, if you take price, if it's like spot and you're taking profits on ETH now, you'd probably want to wait a year or so. Probably want to wait till like Q4 of 2026 to buy again, you know what I mean? But I think it's a little premature to take profits now at 3,300. So yeah. But no, I mean, it's, there's always going to be that kind of risk. Like the thing too is I made a video on this like a few months ago about kind of this strategy where you like, you're mainly in ETH now based on the strategy, and then you'd convert it over to like, let's say S&P 500, which is kind of the safest thing generally to convert things over to in bear markets, because when you get screwed, everyone gets screwed in that situation. So, and it bled against, in this bear market, it bled 93% against the S&P 500, and this one not as bad, 77%. So you know, let's say it's a little bit, let's say you can get up to, you know, at least here, maybe higher. Like I could see it, it seems too parabolic, but, well, not so, Hmm. 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 Just started mainstream talking about ETH and the fund. Since Tom I started chill. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think in the 4-year cycle, I agree with it too. You know, it's not yet. Liquidation price 1800. That's kind of my guess is where it would bottom out in the bear market. Well, I would say worst case scenario, and I would be selling a hell of a lot for 1800 if it rejects from your old all time high. But that would be kind of, you know, I would guess, let's say you get up to 74, which I think you can. That'd be around bear market lows, I would guess, would be 1800. So I don't think you would see that. You'd probably be fine, but you're going to be paying some funding fees, bro. That's what all I'm going to say. You're probably going to be fine. I would never do any particular trade with money I can't afford to lose, but a trade like that you're more confident on, like, you know. But still, anything's possible. People have talked about coming back to 1800, but if it does this year, you're not going to, you know, it's going to be, and the odds get lower and lower the higher you go here. Like, they're, you know, the odds of that this year, I would say, are probably under 10%. But, you know, sometimes it seems like when you bet the farm on one individual thing, it always, the 10% or the 2% chance of it happening always happens, you know what I mean? 2% chance of a loss, I should say. So, yeah. But no, 33 is great. It's obviously really exciting. You know, that's why everybody's in the seat right now. It's got to be over 80 degrees in this where I am right now. 33 on. I was just trying to look at the. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're trying to, I'm just curious because there's like more points here. Yeah. But you're only down. Like if you bought the highs there, you're only down about 18%. I think if you got in like, you know, towards those areas, down 10%, which is not bad. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Great Scott. If it goes, yeah, I think nobody's gonna. I mean, never say never, but yeah, it would be unlikely that, you know. I mean, what is everybody? I mean, I'm sure some of you guys watch other YouTubers and stuff. I'm sure you're not just watching Evan Aldo only. Like, what does everybody else think? Are they saying what I'm saying? Like, what are other people saying? I'm just curious, like what you guys have been hearing. Like, are people like I'm just is social risk like going up? I know Cowan had like a social risk meter, and it was like it's been really low. Oh yeah, shout out to Paul Sampson, 3,700 could be next. AVAX has been lagging, yeah. AVAX, I don't know if you're going to make a new all-time high this year. That may be tough unless this thing really needs to get some boots on the ground soon. You know what I mean? This needs to make. I mean, it's coming up. It's not. You know, there's something happening, but it needs to break up to $30 by end of month and then continue forward. But hey, I mean, we'll take a 4x to or 3x to $60. I'll take that. You know. I think you could get there. I don't think that's hard. Same with Dot. Like Dot should be able to. That's the thing too. You're at $4. You should be able to double, maybe get up to 17 again. You know. Don't think it's gonna make a new all-time high, but you can make some money potentially. Yeah. I mean, what most people are bullish though, right? Like most people are pretty bullish, like I am. I would think. I mean, have people been People were pretty scared with the tariffs. I kind of got, yeah. Yeah, I know Tom Crown. Shout out to Tom Crown. I've done collabs with Tom Crown in the past. It's been a minute, though. It goes by so fast, man. I think it was 2022 when I last did a collab with Tom Crown. He's a really good guy. Barra? Never heard of that. But everything's really looking like it's going to come back. Barra, this like Grizzly chain. I don't know. 20 by 10x? I have no idea. Appreciate your plan. Your ETH is doing good. Really fought back, man. Really fought back. ETH has been in the same channel since its high in November of 2021. Lower highs, but higher lows. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I don't know what to even make of that. Even a second dot. Okay, that's good. I have some dot. Not a lot of it, but well, it might have been a lot of it before it crashed 99% or whatever. But I'm just kidding. PayPay. A lot of people have been asking about PayPay. I think you could do it through 2 to 3x like everything else. I've looked at it before. The one that if you're keep in mind, all your money will probably be lost with this, but this was just listed on Coinbase. This is the new one. There's been some high trading volume with this. That's the new meme coin, but maybe it'll just completely go to zero. So we'll see, like most of them do. So yeah. But yeah, I always appreciate you guys smashing the like button and all that or whatever. If you guys are interested in making some of these leverage trades, I want you to check out the links down below. 20% off on your fees over on BloFin, also over on BYDFI, 20% off of those, cash back. So yeah, check those out. There's also some good deposit bonuses, and last but not least, if you deposit $100 on either, at least $100 on either of those, open a support ticket with your UID or your email. We'll give you one free month and all on Power VIP Discord. And if you already signed up with my links for either of those down below, it'll be updated. You'll now get the 20% off of your fees, so you don't have to do nothing. How long have you been trading it? So I mean, unseriously since like freaking 2014, but that was more like not just buying on spot and selling. I don't know if I consider that trading. That was just doing stuff in like college and high school, stuff like that. But kind of seriously since 2020 when I started to take it really seriously. If I'm using a VPN, so I'm not in America right now, but I don't think you need a VPN for BYDFI and BloFin. I mean, it's good to use a VPN anyway for security purposes, but I don't believe you need a VPN for either of those. You definitely do not need to KYC with either of those either. Those are the two best, I think, for no like KYC, no VPN. BitUnix I've been looking at. I might do something with them too, if they can get like me a good deal for you guys or something. So yeah. I've been waiting a long time too, Plenty, and I think we're finally, starting to see some real stuff happen. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm just thinking for most people with ETH, like, I mean, I would say for most people, like, worst case scenario, your average entry is probably like at 3,700 or something. So you're not that, like, you're pretty decent right now. You're only down 10%. You know what I mean? That's like worst case scenario for a lot of people, I would think. I mean, I would be Plenty. I think you're probably in the green now. I would hope. I mean, I hope you didn't buy at the exact. That's bad luck if somebody bought it. just imagine like somebody just bought the exact high like. But no. But yeah. Let's see here. I'm waiting a long time for you. This is a monthly there. That's the thing too. Like I think this maybe as this trigger wave confirms, then you see your kind of bearish month, like your bearish August or something. That's what I would kind of guess, assuming we're back at 4,000 or whatever. So yeah, and then from there, hopefully all-time highs and beyond. So yeah. The other one that, speaking of things that just have been kind of, I don't know, like. Popular. I don't know what the hell I didn't even know this was anything anymore. Do they still work on this? Like, is this? do they make updates to Stellar Lumens? Like Trigger Wave right there looks decent. Like this is on the verge. This could make a new all-time high. Like this could get up to freaking. This could do a 2 or 3x from here. That may be a little bit too optimistic, but this could. If you break above there, that's 62. I mean, you could make a new all-time high for Stellar Lumens out of the depths of hell, kind of. And that's just like, this is just bad in every way. Well, not as bad as some other things, but, you know, it keeps failing to make new all-time highs in every freaking bull market, and then all of a sudden you're able to do it. I mean, a little bit of XRP vibes, but, you know. I think the consensus of most channels that the bull run will go on for another 6 to 9 months. Channels that are very or even over the... Okay. This time is different. Yeah. I think when everyone starts saying this time is different, that's the time to get the hell out. But, yeah. In general, I mean, the thing, too, in general, is you want to buy when things are down. You want to sell when they're up. You know, right now is kind of more up. Well, for Bitcoin, it's up. But for all, it's kind of neutral to down. But, you know, they're alts, so, you know. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, there's going to be more fear. Like, I mean, I think you're going to stay range bound for a bit here while ETH continues to do some damage, and then everything will pull back in August a little bit, maybe like 20% or something for Bitcoin and ETH or whatever. So, yeah. But no, this is just keeps, it's the gift that keeps giving. But yeah, I'm just thinking, are we hitting it? Yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna, I would guess 34. I mean, you could, you know, reject from anywhere, but 34, you know, it's doable. It's doable. And what are we, 2:30 p.m. Eastern? Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I think, most people's portfolios right now. Plenty. There's a pair for anything, man. You could do, and we could look at that. I don't think it's very advantageous to look at that, but you could go like this. Look. Ooh, XRP. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe XRP jumps against it now. I don't know if I would mess too much with Stellar, but who the hell knows? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in the red on Matic, obviously. I'm in the red on Crypto.com, I'm ahead on. ETH, I'm ahead on, obviously. Bitcoin, I'm ahead on, although a lot of that was converted over to other things a little bit too early. Cardano, I'm ahead on. I'm ahead on most stuff, I think. I mean, I do own a lot of stuff, though, so there's quite a few that are down, though. Nice, man. Yeah, Cardano, you're behind. I'm ahead on Cardano. When did I? I'm on the wrong. I got more on the Binance, but I got in like here towards this area. Yeah, probably like freaking 30 something cents. I'm well ahead on Cardano. You probably were buying up here. Yeah, you had to be. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm ahead on most. I think more than I'm ahead on this definitely. I have a lot of stuff though. I'm ahead on this. Not ahead extremely well, but you know. Aerodrome. I if things go well, it could make a new all-time high. I don't know if it will, but it definitely can. So I think there's potential here, yeah. ApeCoin am I ahead? I don't think I'm ahead. I think this I'm down on. Yeah, I was buying this more so in like this area. No, that was too. Yeah. The average buy was probably, I don't know where the hell, maybe $1. This one I'm down on. This I think could recover a bit if you get back to $1 and stuff. I'm curious about NFTs right now. Let's look at CoinGecko and see here. 1.8 ETH, 6,000 for a nape. A lot of this is because ETH has been, coming up. Still down 95% its ETH evaluation. I mean, I don't know what, if you look at ETH evaluation, I mean, can this get back, if it can get back up to like, I don't know what do you guys think for this? Am I like, now if I go like that, it's more, like, could this go crazy again? I have no idea. 10 ETH maybe, if the 70G, yeah. 220 on Sol. I mean, I do think Sol will keep leading against ETH for now, but we'll see what happens. I still think it'll do relatively well. 220. Well, I don't think that's that bad. It'll probably get back up to, could get it up to 260, by early next month or something. We'll see. I mean, where could Solana top out? Maybe 400 is my guess. I think it should break these highs and hit like 400. That's what I would kind of hope for. I guess it could go higher, but I don't know. Okay. Silencer in the mouse. How do you put a silencer in the mouse, though? How do you do that? I've never even heard of such a thing. Is my mouse too loud? No, that's just a normal kind of... I have a Nora. It's a Nora. You see the mic here. Do you see that? Maybe you guys don't see the mic, but it's a good mic. It's a USB mic, but it's not a bad mic, so... The mouse is not close to it. Cardano, I think, will do pretty well. There's a few, more esoteric, middle cap to lower cap. 2 billion. V-Chain, I think, could do something. That could do some damage. Hopefully getting back up to these highs or something. What else? Helium I wanted to look at. HNT. Not as good as I would have, as many would have liked it. But if you can break upward, we're looking at these highs again. So 2 or 3x. And what was the other? I think they discontinued this or whatever the hell. I don't know. That's what everybody's trying to make as much goddamn money as possible. That's not the, that was down a bit. I got this from having the Helium Mobile, so I probably have, let's see how much it's worth. The freaking, I don't even have the plan anymore because it doesn't work outside the US, so yeah. I just want to see how much I have. Yeah, it says my plan is canceled. Let's go to the wallet here. I have $63 worth of it, so essentially nothing. Yeah, now you earn HNT, which probably is better, so $63. I mean, even if you were to, I just want to see, even if you were to make which you probably won't, I mean, it would be worth a few $100s if you can get higher than there. Was it good, the new Superman movie? I didn't even know that came out. That's the one I didn't look at. Better looking charts. I mean, everything kind of looks decent right now. I mean, Chainlink I liked. You know, ETH. ETH probably will continue to outperform most alts. Let's see, what was it? Oh yeah, SWE. High trading volume there. I mean, it's, yeah, I think he should be able to get to $6 to $10 by end of year. I don't know if you're gonna get a full 3x for this. That may be a lot to ask, but yeah. And crypto isn't that an extreme greed, I don't think. I think you'll see more extreme greed in early August. HNT, I mean, that'll come back up to like those highs. I was just looking at, let me look at that again, actually. Oh yeah, these highs I would hope for at least $9 and then maybe more, but hard to say. That was not a fun area there. BTT, what was that one? That's I don't know what the hell this was. Oh, that, okay. Yeah, no, I know this, yeah. Wait, was that the right? Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, something happened with this. I don't know what the. This kind of went to zero, bro. Yeah, this is done. That's done. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna go break even on that, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, let's look at fear and greed quickly. Let's see if that. It wasn't that bad. At least on the coin market cap one, 68. Like, it's not that bad, not yet. You know, I think you got another month about until it gets to extreme greed. Stock market could be in the higher greed ranges, but yeah. Oh, altcoin. So yeah, you're still like just you're getting there. You know what I mean? You're getting to your altcoin season, but you're not quite there. Yearly high, yeah, December of, yeah. I mean, if we kind of map this, if we map this out, as this gets, okay, that's, hold on a second, we want that. Oh, wait. Oh, so the higher it is, it's alt season, yeah. So if we look at this, I would think if we're right here, you could get into alt season in a couple months, yeah. Which is kind of what I've been thinking. Top 100 coins per, that's interesting. Of course, a lot of them are meme, whipped. Oh, I'm surprised that, hold on. That's another meme coin that people should be, well, not should be talking about, but I'm surprised they aren't talking about. Yeah, I was trying to fight back. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking, man. I mean, it's August is probably going to be the bad month. That's my guess, man. I mean, August is probably going to be I mean, Coinbase stock, what can this do? I mean, probably at least 600 or something into end of year, break upward. I mean, I don't know if it'll go up to 1,000. It can, but I don't know if you're going to get there just quite yet. I think it'll do well, though. Let's look at like coin versus ETH. I'm just curious. Ooh, that's going to turn around, I think. That's going to go down. I think ETH will outperform it. Could be wrong, though, but yeah. And then coin versus Bitcoin, I'm curious about. So it bleeds like in the kind of choppy. I mean, it doesn't really. I would think maybe coin now will outperform Bitcoin a bit into the end of the year. That's what I would guess. But I think ETH probably could outperform coin. Trump tariffs. Why do I want to? Hold on a second. Yeah, there's no dividend, of course. Yeah. I'm trying to think if you were. This one's an interesting one because if you got in 230, yeah, you'd be almost double. So, yeah. Just Tesla. Let's look at. I just wanted to look at if you were to get into. Yeah, I know some people that got in over here, and it was doing pretty good so far, almost double. Tesla coin, let's look at. Interesting. Bleeding edge coin. It'll probably, in the bear market year through most of it, yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah. Oh, finally, ETH outperforming MicroStrategy, which would kind of equate to ETH outperforming Bitcoin as well, generally. That's what you would kind of hope for here. What else would outperform? Yeah, because let's see something here. Obviously, bled against MicroStrategy, but there, yeah, since that, okay, yeah. I mean, generally when the markets, and that was before you even bought it, but interesting. I would guess bear market year Bitcoin would outperform MicroStrategy. I don't know. Like, how much is he worth now? Like, how much is Michael Saylor worth? Is it 10 billion now? It's got to, I would guess, 8 to 10 billion, 8 to 12 billion, something like that nowadays. I mean, he's done it. Yeah. We looked at this, but, well, not the token, but that is, like, so delayed. Yeah, it's going, yeah. I'm just, if you were to, like, really break upward, yeah. The potential. And Apecoin and all that. ERC20 tokens. Aave, obviously. Are we still jumping on ETH? My golly. She's still going. She don't stop. Man. But yeah, I mean, if you're already at, 3,400 almost, I mean, I don't see any reason to believe we can't get to 4,000 by early August, 2 more weeks of upwardness. I mean, it'll probably take longer, but than it has here. But no, this is just, I mean, from this low that we saw, 3 weeks ago, 60%. Like, this means business, people be buying. But yeah. And by the way, guys, if you're interested, pin chat, 20% of your fees for life with BloFin. Same exact deal, 20% of your fees for life with BYDFI down below as well. If you guys are interested, check it out. A lot of good potential trades right now. And if you sign up to either of those, deposit $100, give you 1 free month in all the Empire VIP Discord. Just open a sport ticket with your UID or your email and we'll get you sorted. So yeah. Yeah, smash the likes, guys. I don't know how many likes there are so far, but I always appreciate that. So yeah, I've never heard of Z. Is it this? I don't know what this is. Wow, been out for a minute. Hard to say. Some of these trigger waves, I think it could get back up to double this area or something though. Sure, it may pop. What was the other? The one that they were trying, not Doge, Dog. That was hyped, but I don't think it didn't do anything, yeah. It just didn't. Well, no, it was around back there. Yeah, nothing, no. Anyway, guys, I mean, I kind of want to end the stream, but I mean, it's I kind of want to watch this, potentially do more things, 10-second time frame. Man. 3,300 ETH. You know, you're only... Moves happen quickly. I mean, you're only... How far away are you from all-time? You're 44% from all-time high. So... And that would mean you're down 30% from all-time high, which isn't too bad. And if we also look at... Algorand's a good one to look at, but if we look at ETH versus Bitcoin quickly... you're already freaking at 0.03 almost. You're breaking upward like crazy here, so yeah. So you've erased all the pain from February. Still more pain to erase though. Algorand's a good one to look at, yeah. Doing okay. You know, up to that area. Down 52. 130, yeah. I mean, I think you should at least get up to 70 cents at some point this year. Probably higher. I mean, you probably could rally up to these points. I mean, we'll see, but you probably could keep going, I would think. Looks pretty good. So, yeah. Area right there. Enjoy the day. It is still light outside. It's still day. It's now 9:42 here, so it looks like it looks at like 7 p.m. in probably most of the U.S. But yeah, it's still nice that it's light out this late. But anyway, I think I'm gonna get going. If you guys want to check out the exchanges, help us support the channel. Check it out. 20% off your fees for life. BloFin, BYDFI down below. And remember, where am I at? I'm in Finland. I'm in Finland right now. Cool place. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys are interested, check it out. Links down below and smash the like button. And I'll see you guys real soon. Have a good one. Maybe we'll chat a little bit in the Discord. Let me decide on that. I'll shoot like a thing. Maybe in a few minutes we'll do it. But let me see if I have the energy from the coffee. I'll probably be able to survive. I just want to stretch my legs a little bit. Been streaming about an hour and a half now, so